I think I'm live now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
What? Hello, everyone. I think the problem is solved. And please accept
Yay.
my apologies. Thank you, Tracy, for taking over. Uh,
Mhm.
we are
Yeah,
not some half cocked.
I'm sorry.
We're not. We're very professional. We apologize. We've had technical difficulties 2 weeks in a row, but there's a reason we're here, and thank God I was able to get my microphone open. Um, so Tracy was just leading you all through ways to regulate yourself, and thank you, Tracy. I owe you. I appreciate it. I want. I also wanted to take time to share why we're here, and uh, the reasons why Tracy and I even came together to help. We wanted to serve others by helping them through this particular time in history that's going on right now, because there are so many dysregulated people. Uh, People are stuck in survival mode, they're exhausted, and so many of us don't even know that's what's going on. And just briefly, I wanted to share how I came to this point in my life. And I've been a coach since 2010. But, you know, as coaches, we continue to grow, we continue to gain wisdom and learn about ourselves and grow through various things. So, anyway, I was involved in a friendship over the last 3 years. And at first, it was wonderful. And things, it was exactly what I needed. I felt that my heart was full, and this person really represented something really special in my life. But as our friendship went on, I began to see things about this person that didn't resonate with me any longer. And it turned into this situation that was a joyful thing for me, but it actually flipped, and she began hating me and belittling me and demeaning me and forcing me to not speak and not use my voice and share things that the I feel like it was abuse that I was going through, that I felt like I was betraying her by not um, by speaking to other people about what I was going through. And so anyway, the it came to the point where I needed to let this person go. But everything that I went through, I did not realize I was in survival mode that whole time. And then what I realized is that I've been in survival mode most of my life. I was born 2 pounds, 15 ounces back in the early 60s, in a time when they didn't really have the medical care to take care of preemies. But I survived. And I kept saying, how did I get through that? And what I learned is that I am enough. I am enough. I always have been, but I've never given myself credit for that. And learning and becoming aware of the fact that I was operating from survival mode helped me to see the loops that I was going around in, that I kept repeating in my life. And so that was extremely important to me, to learn that about myself, because you can't get out of something that you're not aware of. And what I realized is that I needed to stop trying to force everything and to actually uh, step into my power by taking bite sized steps. I had to create safety in my body in order to move forward in my life, because I was trying to force things. I wasn't in alignment with what it is I really wanted to do. And becoming aware of the fact that I was in survival mode is what really saved me. And so now I'm operating from creating safety in my environment, safety in my body, moving my body, doing things differently to regulate my nervous system. And I think Tracy, I know, she shared with you earlier about how she encounters this in the workplace. And I don't know, did you have another story, a personal story that you wanted to share with people about uh, something that you went through? Oh, you're muted. Your microphone is muted.
Here we go. Okay. Sorry. So, just recently, I returned back to my job as a mental health counselor. And the reason I needed to take a break, I was always saying, this is too much to demand the physical body to see people 8 hours in a row with no break, no lunch, no anything. So my body just said, okay, we need a break. We're shutting down. And I'm a person that comes from 30 something years, knowing my body, being very aware, knowing what I need. But due to how things are nowadays, how things are billed, the insurance system, none of that matters when you're stuck in the system and you literally get stuck having to go, no break. Your body doesn't have time to reset and it shuts down. So that's an example of I'm in survival mode. I'm feeling threats from all sides. If my clients don't show up, if I don't see enough clients in the week, if I take too long of a break, am I going to get in trouble? Am I going to get another email? All of that put me in survival mode. And I'm the kind of person that I don't live in survival mode. So when I got stuck there and there was no way out, I just had to say, okay, we need a reset and we need to figure out how to reset my nervous system so that I'm not living in constant threat and stress. So the time that I took off, I was able to see that more and do what I needed to do for my body. Uh, yeah. So body level. So the reason I came into this is because so many of us are stuck, and you can talk all you want in therapy or to people, but there's still something living in your body, and it's stress, and it's I need to survive, and we don't even know it's there unless we take the time to get in touch with it, literally talk to it, figure out what's going on, why are you here. So I use movement, yoga, breathing, all different kinds of ways to get in touch with what's going on in your body so you can make those changes and thrive and feel that joy again. Um, it doesn't mean you're depressed. It just means I'm stuck somewhere. I need to get out of this. This is not healthy. What can I do? So getting in touch with your body, which is what I've been doing 30 something years. And sometimes I do it with my clients and they'll say, wow, I didn't know that was there. I had no idea that's what I was thinking or feeling. So there are just certain things that I have to offer that can help you get in touch with what else is going on. I know what I'm thinking, but what's really going on in my body and why am I stuck and not changing? So that's my story.
And if you think about it, so many people are stuck in survival mode right now because I know the current political situation and different things that are going on in the world. Uh, they're operating with a shock and awe type of perspective where everything is thrown at you all at once and it's constant bombardment to your nervous system of one thing after another after another after another. And then you get overwhelmed. And when you get overwhelmed, you freeze and you get anxiety. You're not operating with clarity. It's hard to make good decisions. It's hard to even get in alignment and do the things that you want to do in your life to, give yourself a greater quality of life. There's so many things that we can do when we shift our perspective, but first, again, we have to be aware of what's going on. And think about this too: the system is set up to keep us in survival mode. You know, a lot of times that's what causes disease, because we're constantly going, 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 and we never stop and we don't even realize it. And if you're like me, I was constantly grinding. I'm working 12 to 16 hours a day, you know, building my business and getting out there in front of people and living my passion. But my passion was hard to actually live, because I didn't realize what I was doing to myself by constantly going and going. And so think about your job and the things that you're doing in your life that is keeping you in survival mode. It is really challenging because it's exhausting. It tires you out. You don't have energy for anything else. And we really do have to become aware of the fact that most of us have been living in survival mode for a long time. No wonder it's challenging to dream and do the things that we want to do for ourselves in our lives. Did you want to add more to that, Tracy? Thank you, Walt, for hanging in there. I think you're the only one there.
That was wonderful.
We try.
But really, we're living in a time where we're
We
stuck in
try.
survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what the next thing is. Our taxes are changing. Our healthcare is changing. And I have so many clients who are now seeing me because they're so unsettled, undisturbed by what's going on in our world today that it's overtaking them and their thoughts and their bodies, and they're crying and they're stressed out and they're just wanting a change and wanting to find out, how can I change how I'm looking at this? But if we're stuck in that survival mode, which means we're telling ourselves, I need to run, I need to hide, I need to isolate, I can't do this, there's nothing I can do, nobody understands me. You gotta get on a body level and figure out, how can I change so I can see things differently? Because all of your energy, as Lee was saying, it's going into your body just in certain spots, and you're stuck and you can't move. And if you're stuck and you can't move, you can't use all the parts of your brain, because all of that, what would be normal thinking, you can't do that anymore, because all of your energy, all of your messages are going down into your body through that big vagus nerve saying, I can't do this, I'm stuck, I can't move. So we have to move and breathe and do differently so we can send that energy through our whole body and not just to one place telling us to stay stuck. Respond the same way, we got to learn different responses. And the only way to do that is to get in touch with what's going on in your body and change.
So, Tracy, what are some practical ways that we can get out of survival mode? One of them I know is just by becoming aware of it. But you create awareness by uh, shifting your body. It's not just your mind,
Right.
It is mind and body. Well, I like to call it mind, body, spirit because it's all affected by
Hmm.
everything that goes on in our lives. So you can't shift what you're not aware of.
Right.
So, what are some practical ways we can shift out of survival mode?
Some practical ways are to first not be in denial about whatever it is we're going through. Simply admitting it to yourself. Saying things like, this really sucks. I don't like this. That's an awareness. That's the
I,
beginning of, I can change this because I don't like this. But if you
I
never
call
admit to yourself there's something to change, go ahead.
no, I was going to say I call that getting down and dirty, honest with yourself. Because
Exactly.
if you can't do that with yourself, then who can you do it with?
Right. And it does, you have to tell yourself, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm stuck. I don't like this. I can change it. But people will tell you there is something wrong with you. You are mentally ill. You are this. You are that. No, you just need to bring into your awareness what's going on and then work with it and give yourself grace and say it's all right to feel like this. It's all of our feelings are okay. Now what do I do? So,
Exactly. And then I think one of the other things is I heard someone saying, actually, someone was just telling me this recently, is that they're around so much noise all the time. There's so much noise surrounding them that they actually turn off the radio in the
hmm
car and just enjoy the silence.
hmm
The silence is where we find ourselves.
yes.
That's key.
And there are times people come into my home, family, and they say, "Why are you just sitting there? Don't you want the TV on?" No, I'm perfectly peaceful with my own thoughts, my own breathing, my own space. So sometimes, like you said, you gotta turn it off.
And like Tracy was saying, there's nothing wrong with you. And you're just sometimes get stuck in a place, but you have to be able to choose differently in order to shift out of that space. And so that's the only way that we're going to change our lives is
Mhm.
literally by understanding how much this nervous system regulation affects our lives and everything that is going on in our lives. I can't even, if I could tell you how much I went through last year and from one traumatic event to the next traumatic event, and I don't know how I did it, literally. It's like you go through stuff and you don't even know how you lived through it because
Mhm.
it profoundly affects you. And when I finally got into this peaceful space that I'm in right now, I literally cried because it was the first time in 2 years that I felt at peace. It was quiet. I was safe. I had a roof over my head. My grandson was fine. He felt safe. And I felt like this was a transitional place for me, a place where I could grow from and just be without this anvil hitting me on the head of someone else being in my space that did not like me and did not like the way that I did anything in my life. And so I had to purposefully choose to leave that person because I knew that energy could not follow me in this transitional space that I grew into.
Mhm. And you have to learn to let go, acknowledge those things, and then let them go to the place that they're meant to be. Because when we carry all that, it just weighs us down.
Exactly.
And we can start. One simple way to start changing from survival mode is not to say, "What's wrong with me?" but to instead say, what happened to me? What happened in my story? Not what did I do wrong or what's wrong with me? What happened?
And what am I feeling? What is
Hmm.
going on in my body and where am I feeling it? Tracy was so apt to point that out for me the other day as I shared with her some things that I was going through. And it made me more aware of where I am feeling trauma and tightness and, this grip in my body when certain feelings and emotions come up. It is such a profound thing to be able to realize that and then be able to release it through movement or whatever works for you. And I know one thing that works for me is laying flat on the floor. And it sounds so simple, but that grounds me more than anything in this world. And when I'm laying there, I hear nothing. I hear nothing going on around me. I'm at total peace. My body feels good on that hard floor. And I lay whatever position my arms feel the best in is where I lay out. And the other day I could feel the tension move through me. I felt where it was stuck, but I allowed it to move from my hand, the tips of my fingers, all the way through my body. And when I got up from the floor, I did not have that tension in my belly anymore. I did not have the pain that was there, and I felt so much better. It's just such a grounding experience, and I moved according to how my body felt like it wanted to move that out. That's like transmuting energy.
That's the key. Move and let it move and listen to your body and just do what it tells you to do. I know
And
that
it's so
sounds weird if you've never done it before, but that's that's partly where I come in to help you figure out how do you do that. It's not the same for everybody. There's not a menu of choices. Okay, I want this today. I want this. Because your body is always going to be different.
Yeah, and we talked about how you have a background in dance movement therapy as well as trauma conscious yoga. And so when you're serving people through Ruha Rising, people sometimes think that that movement means that you're going to be dancing or having some jam session
Hmm.
where you're playing music and there's a
Right.
DJ and all that stuff. But that's not what it's all about. Can you share a little bit more about movement and how it filters all those emotions through your body?
So I'll go way back to what is dance, what is movement. Movement and dance are any kind of interaction, any kind of connection. Breathing is a dance because it's a movement. Simply breathing is a dance. Reaching out is a dance. Um, so movement can be defined in many different ways. It's not about just dancing around, jumping around. If that's what your body's telling you to do, then that's what you do. If it's not, you do something else. But movement has always been a way to connect, to help us feel safe, to help us feel held. Um, and what I learned was self-awareness. The more aware you are of yourself, the better you can connect with people. People can sit down in front of you and feel safe because they can feel that energy that you're not carrying all this stuff with you and you're there for them. You're there to connect with them. They can feel that energy. Whereas if you're sitting there with someone, um, for example, in a counseling session, if I'm sitting there thinking about everything I need to do after this session's over and looking at the clock, and they can feel that energy. If they share something that's very stressful and hard for them to share, and you just sit there, they can feel that energy. So movement is breathing, gestures while you're sitting. Am I answering the question? But all
Yes.
of these things make movement. And as Lianna said, it's energy. People can feel your energy. It's not a new age thing necessarily, it's energy. People can feel us. They can feel how you are with them. They can feel how you are not with them. They can feel if you're guarded and holding back. They can feel if you're open to talking. And sometimes I don't even realize how much people can really feel my energy until I go out in public. And I will have strangers come up and tell me their whole life story, and I'm just standing there. And then I say, "You know what I do for a living?" And they say, "No." And I tell them, and they go, "Oh, wow." Um, yeah. Or I'll have kids come up to me, and they just, I've been asked, "Are you the child whisperer?" I said, "No, I'm just here. I connect. I connect. I feel your energy. I see what you're bringing. And because I'm not living in survival mode in the moment, I'm literally open to take in what you're bringing." So, if that makes sense. There you go.
And oh my God, that is so key. That is so critical because I just had a call from a loved one who shared with me the the opening, the seeing, the clarity that has now come forth because she has her own apartment. She has her own space. She's operating in a state of joy and a state of freedom. And that is so critical to realize that because I'm telling you again, when we do not realize that we have been living in survival mode, most of us for years, going to our jobs, going to school, trying to perform for other people, trying to live up to everyone else's expectations, people pleasing, all of that. When we do that, we are in survival mode. And it takes over our lives, and we wonder why we can't move forward. We wonder why our businesses aren't growing like we'd like them to. We wonder why we're not able to make a dream come to life. We wonder why all these things aren't happening for us, but it's because we don't understand how our mind and our body are connected and how they are operating together to protect us from the threats that surround us every day. And that's not a bad thing, but it can get out of balance. And when it's out of balance, if you notice those things going on in your life, that you're overwhelmed, you're exhausted, you are stuck, you are fearful of moving forward, usually that is a result of living in survival mode. And we do have to take note of everything that's going on in the world today, because how can it not affect you? If it's not affecting you directly, it's affecting a family member, it's affecting your things that you see on social media. I mean, it's hard to avoid. And so rather than focusing there, in order to shift out of that, because that's where the system wants you to stay and operate from, that fearful mode. In order to create sovereignty, in order to rise, you have got to become aware. You've got to do these things that can help you regulate your nervous system, because we don't want to surviving is what we've been doing. But in fact, that word survive kind of drives me nuts sometimes, because we people tend to say, "Well, I'm surviving, and I survived this and that." But the optimal way of being is thriving, not just surviving. It is thriving, and you can only thrive if you learn how to regulate your nervous system, how that all plays into everything that's going on around you, and sometimes it keeps you out of alignment with the things that you desire in your life. And then you wonder why you can't achieve
Mhm.
them. And typically that's why.
And simply put, yes, I forgot what I was going to say. And simply put, the more aware you are, the less you're going to react to
Yes.
things. You're going to be, no, awareness doesn't mean you're not going to experience things, because every day there are threats. Every day there are problems. Every day something's going to happen. But the more aware you are of yourself, all nervous system regulation means is I can keep my body calm so that I can be aware of what's going on, and then I can set my boundaries as I need to and still keep that peace that I feel inside. And that's, in a nutshell, what it's all about. Keeping my peace.
So let me ask you a question. Um, where are you noticing survival mode showing up in your life? Put it in the chat. Have you felt this tension in your body? Do you understand that when you have a feeling of fear or stuckness or overwhelm, stop for a minute and become aware of where you're feeling that in your body. And then, like Tracy said to me the other day, ask it, why are you here? What what purpose did you come to serve?
Mm-hmm.
And then listen, because it'll tell you exactly why it's there.
Mm-hmm. And, and it will tell. And it sounds weird to ask it, but that's a part of your awareness. My stomach's really hurting. Why do I have all this tension here? Why are you here?
What did you come to show me? What did you
Right.
come
What
to
did you come
teach
to
me?
show me?
I'm a firm believer in everything that happens in your life comes to teach you something.
Mm-hmm.
And when we look at it like that and we shift our perspective there,
Mm-hmm.
that opens us up to a lot of self-awareness and wisdom and growth, and
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much it. So, if we don't have any questions,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna wrap this up here. But if you've been feeling off, if you've been feeling overwhelmed or stuck, let this be your confirmation. You're not crazy and you're not alone, because there's so many people out there who feel the same way you do. They just don't understand what they're operating in. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what the Regulate and Rise Collective is here to do, is to teach you, to share with you, to have these conversations, to help you become more aware and to help you grow. I know we got off to a little bit of a rocky start the last couple of weeks, but we appreciate those of you that have stuck with us, because this is just going to get better and better.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't have to stay in that place. You don't have to stay in a place of disempowerment. And that's what this space is all about.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tracy, did you have anything you wanted to say in closing and invite people to Ruha Rising?
So I'm here to help you unlock all that stuckness going on in your body. Because the more we hold on to things, we don't open our hands literally or our bodies to accept new experiences, new and wonderful challenges, new joy. So I work with individuals, couples, groups, work groups, personal groups. I've even used movement as a form of prayer to help release and ask for what it is that we need. Um, so I'm here to join with you to figure out on discovery calls what is it that you're looking for. Do you feel stuck? How do you feel stuck? How can we navigate that? How can we work through that so that you feel like I'm the best person I can be right now and I'm going to keep growing, and all I need to learn how to do is this so that I can find my joy and keep my peace. So if you're looking to find your peace, to grow your joy, even in the middle of all these challenges and problems that will happen, then I'm here for you. And I would love to work with you.
Thank you, Tracy. And as part of the Emancipation frequency, where I help people who are going through this collective time in history to shift from fear to freedom, I'm going to be opening a Regulate and Rise 5-day nervous system reset. And Tracy is going to work with me on that. She'll be able to help you as far as the movement and understanding your nervous system a little better and getting more in tune with yourself. And so that'll be forthcoming. But so if you want to go deeper, we'll drop the ways you can link with us below in the caption below. But join us every Tuesday at 7 p.m. for the Regulate and Rise Collective, and tap into the frequency and subscribe to YouTube and hit notify me so you don't miss any of these conversations. So we appreciate you being with us this evening, and peace, love, and happiness.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Thank you for those that joined us live. Have a beautiful evening.
Mhm.